Cindy. Let's learn English together. In today's lesson, we will be continuing with our learning on the verb to go. Today, we're going to be learning about the negative form of the verb to go. Now, if you remember what we learned in our last lesson about how we can write the verb to go on the form based on the subjects, then you will be at a great point to help you in today's lesson. So today we're going to be learning about how do we write the verb to go in the negative form. I have some exciting news for you guys. So all the way that we conjugate the verb to go for the different subjects, we're keeping all of that. All we're really doing is adding the word do and not to it. Do not, to help us so that we can write the verb to go in the proper way with the negative form. So we're going to go through the list together, and then of course we're going to use some videos to help us make sense of what we are learning. So let's look at the subjects together first, right? So we have the subject I, right? And we know that when we're writing it for the verb to go, we're writing the proper form for the verb to go, and the subject is I, we're going to say I go, right? But in this case, since it's the negative form, we're going to say I do not go. I do not go, right? Let's look at you. So we have you. We know that the verb to go for you says go, right? You go, but we're adding do not. You do not go, right? So now we made it negative. You do not go. Now, for he, she, and it is the same thing that we notice that there's a little change here, and it's going to be the same thing for the do. So let me show you, right? So we have he, she, or it. We say goes, right? Goes. Now this part, it comes a little tricky, right? And that's why this verb is irregular, because now, because we're using the word do not, we're going to change it. We're going to say he, she, or it does not. And now look, the verb go stays the same. He, she, it does not go. If I were to say that, breaking all those apart, we would have he does not go. Notice that that verb go is not changing to goes, right? It's staying go because we're already doing that to the do. We're changing it to does. So we're saying he does not go. She does not go. It does not go. Notice that go stays exactly the same. It does not turn into goes. So it just says go. So that's he does not go. She does not go. It does not go. So it's just do now becomes does, and the go stays go. All right, I know that's tricky, but you'll see with looking at it, it makes it a little easier for us. All right, let's continue. So now we have we. We have the verb form for we would be go. We're putting a do not. We do not go. We do not go. And our final one, they. And we're going to say they. The form is go. They do not go. They do not go. So our real area that we really have to focus on that has the most change is the part that is the subjects he, she, and it. But for the other subjects, it's pretty much the same, right? So if we can remember he, she, and it, and that it's he does not go, she does not go, it does not go, then we'll be good. We'll be good to go, guys. We'll be great with everything, right? All right, so now let's take a look at some videos that we're going to get a chance to use our new learning together. And of course, at the end, I'm going to give you a little quiz to see if you remember. And I'm going to tell you a hint right now. You better believe that the he, she, or it, one of those is definitely going to be on the quiz, okay? So you want to make sure that you keep that in your head. And I know you will. All right, perfect. Let's start with our first video. All right. So in this video, we can see the subject is going to be I. So if the subject is I, you know what the verb form is going to be. And you know that we're going to have the do not, right? So we have, I do not go to the zoo. I do not go to the zoo. We can see that where this person is definitely not the zoo, right? So we can say, I do not go to the zoo. There goes our sentence there, using all the things that we've learned, right? And of course, we're putting that noun at the end to name the place that we're talking about. Perfect. Let's try another one, guys. All right. Here we see the subject here is going to be you. You. Of course, we're going to use the do not, right? You do not. And the form would be go. You do not go to school. You do not go to school. You can see in that video that they're definitely not at school, right? Not at school today, not a school day for this person. You do not go to school. Great job, guys. Let's do another one. All right. Subject for this one is she. So once I'm saying she, you should already be saying to yourself, oh, these are the tricky ones. What do we remember about she? She, right? We have to make sure that we're using does not. Does not. She does not. And the form here is tricky because it's not the original form. We're going to go, right? She does not go to work. She does not go to work. We can see that she's taking a nice nap, right? She's not going to work. She does not go to work. Good job, guys. And I just want to say this in between. We can even make the do not and does not into contractions. But I'll save those contractions for another day when we can do a lesson in depth about that so we can see how put those words together to make one, all right? And of course, you can watch that video so that you can see how to create contractions. Perfect. So let's keep going. Here is our next video. All right. So now the subject here is going to be we. We. I'm saying the subject we. You should remember we're going to be putting do not. We do not. The form is go. Yes. We do not go to the movies. We do not go to the movies. Again, you can see in the video that they're not there at the movies, right? This is not the movies. You can see what we're talking about. So we can know that we can say this sentence, we do not go to the movies. All right, and here is our last one. Subject is they. They. So you should remember that if the subject is they, that we're going to be using do not, right? Do not, they do not. And of course, the form is go. They do not go, right? And now we just have to finish that sentence using the noun, right? They do not go to the store. They do not go to the store. So we have our preposition and our noun there naming where they don't go. They're not there, right? They're not at the store. We can see that they're somewhere else. All right, great job, guys. Okay, so it's quiz time. Only gonna give you 3 questions, and we're gonna see if you remember that. So this one was pretty easy to remember. There's one section that we really have to make sure we keep in our minds, and I know you guys are gonna do great. So here we go. Let's go for the quiz. Okay, here's our first one. Okay, so the subject here is I. Subject is I. Can you fill in that sentence? I blank. Good job. I do not go to the zoo. I do not go to the zoo, right? Remember that we're using do not, right? To remind us that this is not the place that the person is going, right? They're not there. They're not there, right? I do not go to the zoo. And we can see in the video that they're definitely not at the zoo. Great job, guys. Let's try our next one. All right, we see the clip. The subject is we. Subject is we. Fill in the blank. We. You got it. We do not go to the movies. We do not go to the movies. We got our subject. We got our proper form, and of course we have the negative there, do not, to help us know that we do not go to the movies. All right, guys, here's the last one. Let's see if you remember. All right, subject here is she. Can you fill in that blank with what we learned? I know you can do it. Correct. She does not go to work. She does not go to work. You remember that the subject is she. You remember that this one is that irregular one. It's tricky. It's not following the rules, right? It does not. We've been saying do not the whole time, but in this case, it's does not. And because it's does not, we're keeping that verb in the form of go. She does not go to work. Great job. Guys, you did an amazing job today. I'm so proud of you. Remember, as I always say, use what you learned today. It's going to help everything stay in your mind and stay fresh. Have conversations with your peers, with friends. Let them know what you do not, where you do not go, or where a person does not go as well, guys. It was a pleasure working with you today. I will see you again soon. Till next time. Take care.